going to be making a sweet mini peach tea. Now this one, it's not a strong mint or strong peach flavor to it. It's just a subtle hint to it, especially served over ice. And, on a nice hot day, it's definitely something to be considered refreshing. So what I use, grab out my tea here. I cheated and I just used Milo's sweet tea. I love this tea anyway, but some people prefer to make their own, especially if you make the sun brewed tea. That's definitely one of my favorites too. So we're going to use this. I'm going to add in 4 cups. There you go. Oops. All right. Set that up there. Now, okay, we got a tablespoon of lemon juice. Let's go ahead and pour that in there. The mint extract, once again, you want to be very careful with this and not spill in too much because, yeah, this, you could, it's going to definitely taste the texture in it, but you also want to add, you're looking at probably about a tablespoon of fresh mint leaves to a tablespoon and a half to get the flavor in, because this stuff really is strong. Okay. Like so. Okay. And then, of course, the final thing that we're going to add in here is our peaches. Get rid of these stickers. You want to cut it up pretty good, so once again, helps with the blender. Now this one, unlike the other ones, will be straining when we get done. Because the last thing you want is to have a nice cold glass of tea on a hot sunny day and then get chunks of peach in with it. It's not what I think of when I think of tea. So we just cut those up pretty small. There you go. And these peaches right now, they do have a really good flavor. They're really sweet. Sometimes you might get some peaches that aren't quite ripe yet. One of the things you can do is actually get some of the canned peaches in with the juice and add a little bit of that juice into it. And that'll help give it a stronger peach flavor. I mean, you can even do it with this if this wasn't strong enough for you. Okay. All right. And it, just like the other ones, it doesn't take long for this to really blend in there. One thing you'll notice about the tea, it'll definitely frothen up as we're making it.
Recipe calls for 1 peach.
Yeah, I meant to tell y'all that at the beginning of the class. That was actually a misprint. It calls for 2, yeah. Sorry about that. Start off on low. And you can hear it when it starts running smooth. Then go ahead and turn it up on high to finish it off. So that you want to give it about 10 to 12 seconds. Let it run and get really smooth. Blend it up. Now with this, like I said, we're going to have to drain it. I use one of these little drainers. And of course, we keep these downstairs too, but if you have cheesecloth, you can also use that for draining this. And all you'd have to do as you pour this over, You know, you don't want to just dump it all in there. You'll see, you know, a lot of that right now that's coming out is froth. Y'all, here, let me move this out here. Now this is probably the most time-consuming part because you can take a spoon or anything, and if there's any of the fruit mixed in there, you just kind of mash it down to push the liquid through. Then as you put it in the refrigerator to let it cool down, it'll settle down and reconstitute itself. And of course, you also, yeah, this one is a little bit messier than the other one. The other one I make had a slightly larger opening. And that's another thing. If you using a larger pitcher, of course, you know, it's a lot better than using a canter. But that right there, just slowly drain the rest of that in there. Which fortunately, I happen to have already done one of those. And as it settles, it just gets that clear, you know, normal tea looking. You'll see a slight tint to it, a little bit darker. And once again, that's also something you can, you know, experiment with flavors too, because I like the peach tea, but another thing you can use is raspberries. Raspberry tea works really well with this, along with the mint. It goes really well with one another.
If you want the raspberries, how many cups or whatever of raspberries?
For the raspberries, if you get, you know, during certain seasons, you can see where the really large, really juicy ones, you're only going to use about a cup of those. If it's the smaller ones, you want about a cup and a half on them. But also one thing you got to consider that the smaller ones aren't going to be as sweet normally. So that's, you know, depending on the type of tea you have, how much sugar it already has, which the Milo's tea that we have here, it's a good sweet tea. Even if I were to use a bitter fruit into it, it wouldn't really subtract much from it. But if you're making your own tea, that's one thing you want to take in consideration, how much sugar you want to add extra to it. All right, is there anything else? Any questions?
When you're doing that peach right there, instead of putting the whole peach in it, you put the peels on. Would that make it went down easier if you just peeled it?
You can peel it if you want to. The peach is the same way as the kiwi. You know, some people don't like eating the skin on it. Of course, it's not going to hurt you to eat the skin, and where you actually drain this, it takes that texture out altogether. You know, it wouldn't really make a big of a difference in the peach smoothie either. You wouldn't tell in the texture-wise or flavor-wise in it. So if you just don't like to have the peel on it, you know, feel free to go ahead and cut it off if you want to.